Hi, everyone, and welcome to Social Work 440. My name is John Uriarty, and I am your instructor for the course. What I want to do in the next 10 minutes or so is go over the course syllabus, some aspects of the course that are all important, assignment information, and just some housekeeping kinds of things. And so the video is only going to be 10 minutes long, but please read the syllabus. Any questions you have, email me. The only email I use that I want you to use for me and when I respond to you is the alaska.edu email. So please go ahead and do that so I can keep track of the comings and goings of all the email. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to be looking at the course syllabus, which I have right here. And if you want to follow along with that, you can. But this is just going to be a brief overview. First of all, this is Social Work 440, and it is social work practice with military families. This is a course that is sort of near and dear to me. I am a U.S. Army retired lieutenant colonel. I spent 24 years in the Army, enlisted as a private, and rose to the ranks and became a lieutenant colonel. Got a master's degree in social work. Ended up being a social work officer for 20 years, and had some really, truly great professional experiences in the Army as both a soldier and a social work officer. The course is about military families, military culture, and understanding how the military as an organization, as a system, as a culture is affecting our work that we do as helping professionals and future helping professionals with the military. This is, I think, it's a very unique field. Only 1% of the Americans, of all Americans in the country, have ever served in the military. And for all of you, whether you're psychology students, counseling students, social work students, at some point in time, when you graduate and you're in practice and you're doing counseling for real and you love it, there is, I'm willing almost to bet there's no way you're going to see someone who hasn't at some point in time been in the military. And if they've been to war, you need to understand how that war has impacted them, but also how has it impacted their family, their children, their spouses, their parents, siblings, etc. That's what this course hopes to do, is to provide an overview as to the military culture and the impact it has on the military family. The course description is, I think, self-explanatory. The student learning outcomes gives you an idea of what it is that I want to try and accomplish. And I think we're going to do probably give you a little bit more than just that. We're going to be talking about so much more in addition to the student learning outcomes. And so what is different about this course is I've been teaching it for a number of semesters or for a number of years, and this course has gone through a complete overhaul. So it's hopefully it's more user friendly. The digital piece in terms of the audio files, the video files, having more assignments. I wanted to try and make it feel more like you're in a classroom kind of environment. The text is daily, and it's 1999 social work practice in the military. I have it right here. This is the daily text. And some of it is still current. Some of it is somewhat outdated. I will go over and tell you what the outdated stuff is and update you with the new and current information. The second book, which I don't have in front of me, is the Henderson book, Christian Henderson, 2006, and it's called While They're at War, The True Story of American Families on the Home Front. This is a book that you'll be reading on your own throughout the whole course. The book is about 15 chapters, and the course is about 15 weeks. So what we're going to do is the first part of the book, you have 5 weeks to read it, and then we're going to have an assignment and sort of a detailed discussion about the first section of the book. The middle section will be at the second 5 weeks of class, and then the last section will be in the last 5 weeks of class. So we're not going to have weekly assignments out of that book or anything. It's a good read, and I'll be reading it along with you. And so please make the time to go through it and stay caught up, because you won't be able to participate when we do review the book. But again, it's Christian Henderson, 2006, While They're at War. And about 2 weeks ago, I went to the bookstore at UAF, at least online I did, and both books were there. The instructional methods, again, this course is asynchronous, and so you guys will be meeting off and on throughout the week. There's no one set time we're going to meet and have the course. So what you need to do is sort of plan out how much time you want to devote to this. It's not a difficult course, but you need to stay on top of all of the assignments. All the assignments, and I'm on the syllabus now under course policies, all the assignments are due to me by midnight every Saturday, Alaska Standard Time. I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm in Central Standard Time, so I am 3 hours ahead of you. So I just made it easy. Everything's in Alaska time. So midnight Saturday, that would make it 3 a.m. in the morning my time. So midnight Saturday, all the assignments are due for that week. My response time is normally within 5 working days, and if you email me with a question, I try and get back to you within 24 hours. Excuse me. Please don't email me with a question like 12 hours before the assignment is due, because I'm probably not going to be able to answer your email that quickly. The other thing you need to do is one thing about being a helping profession, being in the helping professions, and being a helping professional, again, social work, psychology, counseling, etc., is networking. So please get to know your fellow classmates. It is very, very important that you guys make these connections. For those of you who plan on staying in Alaska, who aren't associated with the military, the people who are in your class right now could very well be people that you're going to have professional relationships with down the road. So take the time to get to know them. If you have questions about the course, ask one of your classmates first before asking me. All the information should be in the syllabus. If you missed an assignment, or you couldn't download a video, or you're having a problem, get a hold of one of your classmates and see if they have it and they can send it to you. But try and use the resources that are available to you first before you contact me. The timeline for completing of assignments. The due dates are indicated on each lesson, which again is Saturday, every Saturday, with the exception of this first week. And I'll get to that in just a second. Assignments that are not submitted by the due date may lose 1 point for each day late and may not be accepted after 14 days late. So if you're 2 weeks late, if we're on week 4 and you haven't even done week 2 yet, and it's already been 2 weeks, you might as well forget it, because I'm not going to give you points for that. That's why it's really, really important that if you have something coming up, let me know ahead of time and we can make arrangements. Do not let me know after the fact, okay? Do not let me know after the fact if you have a problem getting in your assignments. The first week, reason why it stands out as being important is this is the first week of class because we're starting today on a Thursday. You have an overlap between the first and second week when it comes to assignments. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is not enough time, I think, to complete the things you have to do for week one. So what I've done is for this time only, you have until today's Thursday, until next Wednesday at midnight. Next Wednesday at midnight to turn in all of your week one assignments. That also means, though, you still have to do your week two assignments. So this is the only time in the course where you're going to have those two things overlap. Week one and week two will overlap. So week two assignments will be due Saturday at midnight as the normal. Just make sure you check your syllabus so you know which Saturday, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And week one is due next Wednesday at midnight. So all week one assignments are due next Wednesday at midnight. The information about withdrawing, plagiarism, the Writing Center help desk, all that's important stuff, so please look through it. The one thing that I am asking you to do is make sure you cite your work when necessary. I will let you know when it's important to cite. But as a rule, anytime you get information from somewhere else, you need to tell me how you know what you know, where you got the information. Use APA Style Manual. It's the 6th edition. That's what we use now, not the 5th edition, but use the 6th edition of the APA Style Manual. If you don't cite your work, you're probably going to lose points. The nice thing about the internet is you can take a quote from somebody, go put it online, and find out where it came from. So again, just make sure you cite your work. It's better to oversight and have too many citations and references than to have not enough. So just sort of use that as a rule of thumb. There are no essay papers or anything like that you have to write, so I'm not looking for a 2-page reference sheet or anything like that. But in one assignment, when we talk about the history of Army social work, you're supposed to go on the internet and research some information. That would be a good time to cite. And please make sure you know how to cite internet resources. All that's in the APA manual. Okay. I'm just going to talk about week one and week two. All the assignments should be posted online today if they're not already. And what I'm going to cover for week one and week two is just go over the activities that you have to do. And every week thereafter, I will post a short either audio file or a video file telling you about that week's assignments and setting up the week in terms of what's important in your readings and what you got to know. So we're up on 13 and a half minutes, and I want to try and get this done relatively quickly. So week one is about the Army spouse from 1775 to the present. And so my introduction is, I have that on the blog, so I want you to go ahead and do an introduction about yourself in the blog. There's a crossword puzzle to do. There are instructions about how to do that. There's what we call a reflection blog, where you think back on what you read and tell me about your own personal feelings. There's an article called The Daughter of Mars, and it's by a lady named Baker, and she writes about the officer and wives and military culture on the American frontier. So when the U.S. Army was establishing remote outposts or remote forts in the American frontier, and they were fighting Indians, the article is about the Army wives that followed their husbands out on those deployments. And so I want you to read the article. It was really interesting, and we'll go into some of this a little bit later, but I want you to be thinking about the similarities between the American frontier and following their husbands out to new assignments and how similar is that today? Obviously, because the time is different. We're modern times today as opposed to then. But look at the situations, the conflicts that the spouses are having. And so that's what I want you to get out of that article. The blog, introduce yourself. There's a format there that I want you to follow. The more you tell, the better. But introduce yourself to the whole class. And if you have if you have a picture of yourself, please put on a picture. I like it when I type to you and I'm writing a comment or wanting to talk to you about something. If I have your picture and I'm looking at you, it makes it a lot more easier for me rather than not knowing who I'm talking to. And then of course there's readings and the discussion board. The due dates are on the right side of the syllabus, and those are just a guide. Everything's due midnight on Saturday of every week. So even though the discussion board is due on the 19th of January, that's what you really should shoot for to help keep you on track. The second week, we're going to talk about the historical development of military social work. That's the Army, Navy, and Air Force. And so in the daily book, there's a chapter devoted to each one, and some has more than the others in terms of their history. But I want you to get a sense of the history, and also there will be an assignment where you have to go on the internet and find some additional information that might be out there about researching the history of one of those branches of the service. Again, when you go on to the internet and you have your Blackboard assignment, you have to cite APA style. And from time to time, I will check to make sure that the references are correct. There will also be a quiz at the end of week 2, and the quiz will cover week 1 and week 2 readings. So the crossword puzzle covers the readings on, it's about Army history of military spouses. And so I think I said that some of the answers for the crossword puzzle are in chapter 1 of the daily book. And the crossword puzzle is just meant to be fun and to do something different. But the readings are important, so you want to make sure that you get those done. And please know that anytime a book comes out about something, it's already outdated and obsolete by the time it hits the street. So a lot of times your internet is your best source for the most current and recent information. And as I find new things, I will share them with you and put the links on there so you have start building your own library of areas of interest if you are that interested in working with military families. So that is it for week 1 and week 2. I'm going to end right now. If you want to contact me, my contact information is on the syllabus, and please don't hesitate to do that. But I think I might have said before, if you have a question, ask your fellow students first. And if they can't help you, then ask me. If you need to contact me, the earlier the better. Don't wait until the last minute and ask for my help, because I may not be able to help you in time for you to make a deadline. If you can't make it to class, let me know. If you can't complete an assignment, let me know. If you're going to be sick or something like that, but let me know ahead of time. Please don't let me know after the fact. So I think with that, we're at 19.5 minutes, and that's the introduction for Social Work 440. And please get with me with any questions or comments. And I hope you enjoy the course.